To this lesson where we want to look at the whole paper 2 2020, that is for December, the internals, not GCE. Okay, this is 2020 internal, which was written in December. Okay, so I want to look at the whole paper. So let me give you the first question. All right, let's look at the first question. This is the first question, and I want you to write down the first question. Write down the first question. That is A and B. A and B. Okay. Then let's begin to solve now the questions. Let us begin to solve. When you read the first question, it was saying, that is 1A. 1A, we are given a matrix which is A and it has 5, 2, 2 and X. Alright? These are the elements of this matrix. So we are told that find the value of X for which this matrix has no inverse. So when a matrix has no inverse, it means the determinant is 0. So that is what we're going to do. So we are going to say, how do we find the determinant? We multiply these two elements in the major diagonal. 5 multiplied by x minus 2 multiplied by 2. So this must be equated to 0. Are we together? So this is going to give us 5x minus 4 is equals to 0. And 5x is equals to 4. You know that the additive inverse of a positive 4 is equals to negative 4. Alright? So this, negative 4 is positive. So then to get the actual value of x, you divide both sides by 5. So x is equals to 4 over 5. This is what you are going to get as the value of x. Then the second question says, find the inverse of A if x is equals to 1. So meaning, we are saying 5, 2, 2, then x is equals to what? 1. So you put 1 here, isn't it? Then we want to find the inverse of this matrix. So when you are finding the inverse of the matrix, the first thing that we are supposed to do is to find the determinant. So how do we find the determinant of this matrix? So we're going to say determinant is equals to 5 multiplied by 1 minus 2 multiplied by 2. Okay? So this gives us 5 minus 4, and we're going to get 1. So 1 is our determinant. Then how do we find the inverse? To find the inverse of a matrix, we say the inverse of A is equal to 1 over the determinant of a matrix multiplied by the adjoint. Multiplied by the adjoint of this matrix A. So, what is our determinant here? We have 1 over 1, which is the determinant. Then how do we find the adjoint? To find the adjoint, these two elements in the major diagonal will switch positions. So we're going to have 1 here, then 5. And these ones are going to change their signs. They will change their signs or you multiply by a negative. So we're going to have negative 2, negative 2. Then, as you may know that, 1 divided by 1, this is as good as a 1 here. Okay? We have a 1, isn't it? Then again, when you multiply this matrix by a 1, it will be the same. So this is the inverse of a matrix. This is the inverse of our matrix. And I want to take you to the second question. That is the probability. I want to take you to the second question. That is the probability. So we are going to question, we are going to B. We are going to B. Okay? We are going to B. Okay? We are going to B. So let's look at B. B is a question that is on probability. It says, a bag contains, here's our bag. A bag contains 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, and 7. Contains 7 red balls and 3 white balls. That is what is in the bag. 7 red balls and 3 white balls. And we are told that 2 balls were picked at random, one after the other without replacement. One after the other without replacement. Then question A talks about draw a tree diagram that shows all the possible outcomes. Draw a tree diagram that shows all the possible outcomes. So that is the question 1B. Okay, so we have A tree diagram. We are going to have red and white. So what is the probability of us getting a red ball here? How many red balls do we have? We have 7 over 10. How many white balls do we have? We have 3 over 10. So this is the first draw. The second draw, we have red and white. We have red and white. Okay? So, we are saying, if the first ball that was picked is red, what is the probability that the second ball is also going to be red? Okay? So, what are we seeing here? The probability that if the first one that was picked is red, it means the red balls have reduced from what? 7 to 6. So now we have 6 over. The total number of balls also in the box have reduced from 10 to 9. What about for the white balls? The white balls are still at 3, but the total number has reduced to 9. Okay? Now, if the first ball that was picked is white, we bring back this one. What is the probability that the second ball is going to be white? The probability is going to be 2 over 10 because 1 ball was picked here. What about the probability that the second one is red? If the first ball was white, it will be 7 over 10. So this is the tree diagram that we're expected to draw. And in most cases, it is advisable to simplify these ones. Like this is going to be 2 over 3, this one is going to be 1 over 3. Okay? But usually in an event where we have subsequent questions, it's easier to work with it the way it is like this. Okay? So this was our... Then the second question that we have. The second question that we have is asking us to say, I hope you have find the probability of taking at least 1 white ball. At least 1 white ball. So meaning, we should have 1 white ball. Okay? We should have 1 white ball. So, what do we have here? The first one we have red and red. Red and white. Then here we have white and red. Here we have white and white. Are we together? This is what we're going to have. Then we're told, what is the probability that we're going to have at least 1 white ball? So, this case where we don't have a white ball does not qualify in our probability. But all these 3, because we're told at least 1 white ball. So at least means minimum. So we can have 1 white ball or more. So what we are going to have here will be the probability. Okay? We're going to have the probability of white ball where we can have both of them are white, plus the probability where we can have white and red, plus the probability where we can have red and white. Okay? So now, what is the probability that both balls will be white? We have 3 over 10 and 2 over. So this is going to be 3 over 10 multiplied by 2 over 9. Plus, what is the probability that the first one will be white and the second one is going to be red? This is 3 over 10. 3 over 10 multiplied by 7 over 9. Plus the probability that the first one is red, it's 7 over 10. And then the second one is white, 3 over. Then we simplify this. What are we getting? We're going to get 6 over, we're going to get 6 over 10 plus 21 over 10 plus 21 over 10. Then when you simplify this, what are you going to get? You are going to get 48. You're going to get 48 over, excuse me, This is going to be 90 here. Okay? This is going to be 90. When you are multiplying these throughout, you get 90. Okay? So this is going to be 90 here. Alright? This is what we're going to get. So now, at this point, we need to simplify this one. You look for the highest number that can go into this one as well as this one. Okay? So 6 into 48. 6 into 48, what are we getting? 6 into 48 will get 8. Okay, we're going to get 8 over 6 into 90. We have 15. So this is it. What is going to be our answer here? This is what is going to be our answer. Okay? This is what is going to be our answer at this point. I hope you are able to get the point as we move on to the second question. As we move on to the second question, which was on sex. And I also want you to pay particular attention. So I'll be bringing this question to your attention so that you can write it down before we move into calculations. All right. So this is the question here. This is the question. Okay. Question 2. This is the question. Write it down. Write it down. Okay. So we move on. Okay, so we read the question. The question says, of the 115 students who attended an end of year party, 74 took Fanta, 93 took Sprite, and 87 took what? Coke. Okay? Then we have 61 that took what? Fanta and Sprite. Then we have 71 that took Sprite and Coke. Then 60 took Fanta and Coke. Then 50 took all. Okay? Took all. Then the question is saying, illustrate this information on a Venn diagram. Illustrate this information on a Venn diagram. So, we need to have, this is what we are going to have as our Venn diagram. This is what we are going to have as our Venn diagram. So we're going to have Fanta, Sprite, and Coke. Okay. So as you know, we always start from the middle. Those that took what? The 3 of them. Those that took the 3 of them, they were 50. So 50 is done. Then we go to Fanta and Coke. Fanta and Coke, how many were there? Those that took, they were 60. So Fanta, the intersection of Fanta and Coke, we already have 50. So the remaining 10, we put it here. We move on. 71 took Sprite and Coke. Sprite and Coke. So we already have 50. So what are we going to remain with? 21, we put it here. This one is also gone. Then 61 took Fanta and Sprite. We already have 50, so we're going to remain with 11. That is what you're putting there. Okay? Then now, to find this, to find what is going to be here, to find what is going to be here in Fanta, now we come to this one. Those that took Fanta were how many? 74. So we need to add what we have here. This is 60. And this is going to give us 70, 71. So the difference is going to be 3. Those are the ones that we're going to put there. Okay? Then, Sprite, 90. Sprite here, 90, isn't it? So this is giving us what? 70. Okay? This is giving us, this is 93. So this is giving us 70, 71, 72. So this is going to give us 82 here. Okay? This is going to give us 82. So if we're going to get 82, then it means that we are going to have 93 minus 82. What do we get? You are going to get 1. So those that are 11, we put them here. Okay? Then we go to the last part, 87. So Coke must give us 87. So we already have, this is 71. Okay? This is 71 plus this one, 81. So, meaning this is going to be 6. Okay? That is going to be 6 there. Alright? So, that is what we are going to get here. So, we, at this point, as you may know, this is a Venn diagram. Okay? So, we are told that of the 115 students. So now, we need to add these ones here and find out how many are remaining from 115. Or does this number add up to 115? So remember, we're told that for Sprite, it has got what? 93. So you can say 93, which is everything that is in Sprite. This is the 13 plus this one, 19. When we add this, what we get? We get, it's going to give us 12. And this is going to give us what? 10. Okay. This is going to give us 10 plus 11. Okay. So this is what we're going to get. So these ones here are giving us 112. But we are told that the students were 115. So meaning the 3 must be outside here. The 3 must be outside. The 3 must be outside. Then we can go on and answer the questions that followed. We can go on and answer the questions that follow. So the question that we have here is, how many students took none of the drinks? How many students took none of the drinks? So we have 2B, we have 2, okay, then A. How many students took none of the drinks? As you can see from the diagram, none of the drinks, there were 3, okay? None of the drinks, there were 3. None of the drinks, there were. So, 3 is our answer here. Then B, we have Fanta and Sprite. Fanta and Sprite, but not Coke. Fanta and Sprite. Fanta and Sprite is this part, but not Coke. It means the answer is 11. Okay? Means the answer is 11. Then, how many students took at least 2 different drinks? At least 2. So it could be 2 and above. So in that case, what are we looking at? We are looking at this part, this one, as well as this one. Okay? I wanted to get a colored marker. A different color. I wanted to get a different color. So, where we are talking about at least 2. These ones took 2. These ones took 2. These ones took 2. These ones took 3. So, all these ones do what? Do qualify. Okay? So, we are supposed to add these ones. This is going to give us what? 71. And this is going to give us 21. So, when you add 71 plus 21, you are going to get what? You are going to get that C, you are going to get 92. will be our answer here on C. 92 is going to be our answer on C. So I need to take you to the second part of lesson 2, which was on vectors. Okay? I want to take you to the second part, which was on vectors. So let's copy the question. That is, copy the whole question. The whole question here. Okay? Let's copy this question. Okay. So when we read the question together, it says, in the diagram below, AVC, okay? AVC is a straight line, and AB is given by HP, and AC is given by 4P plus 9Q, and BV, from B up to V. This is what is given by negative 6P plus KQ. Okay? And then AM is equal to MB. Alright. Then the first question says, expressed in terms of P, Q, and or K. Which one? The first one is express M, or AM. This is the first one. AM. AM. So we are told that AB is equals to 8P. So AM is half. AM, okay? AM is AB half, isn't it? It's half of AB, which is half of 8P. Half of 8P. What are you going to get? You're going to get 4P. 4P. That is what you're going to get. And that is it, the first one. So, our AM is equals to 4P. Okay? Our AM is equals to 4P. Take note of that. Our AM is equals to 4P. That is what we are getting. Then AV. Okay? So, our AV is equals to, you can say this is equals to AB plus BV. Okay? So, our AB is what? 8P. Plus, what do we have this side? Take note. Here we have minus 6P plus KQ. So what do we get here? When you simplify this, this will give us a minus here, isn't it? So this is going to give us what? 2P plus KQ. That's what we're going to get here. Okay. You get 2P and then KQ. So we can bring this one down here also and say AV is equals to 2P plus KQ. Okay? Then we move on. Then we are told that I hope we are together and you are following. We are told that given that AV is equals to HAC, okay? By forming an equation involving P, Q, and H and K or otherwise, find the numerical values of okay. So now we are told that if AV is equal to, alright. So meaning we need to find our AC here. Okay? What is our AC? Our AC is already given. So we are going to say, what is our AV? Our AV has been given as 2P plus K cube is equals to H. What is our AC? Our AC, even in the question, it is given as 4P plus 9Q. Okay. So now we need to simplify this. Okay. We need to simplify this part. What are we going to get? You have 2P plus KQ is equals to 4PH plus 9QH. Alright? That is what we are supposed to have there. So, from this step, what are we supposed to do? Look at this part as well as this one. Okay? What do we need to find? We want to find the value of what? H as well as what? Find the value of H and the K. So we are going to say, you get this one here. You get this one and the equate it to this one. Okay? We get this one and equate it to this one. So we're going to have 2P is equals to 4PH. What do we want to find? We want to find the value of H. So you divide this side by 4P, you also divide here by 4P. So you are remaining with H. So H is equals to, you cancel this P, then 2 here, 1, 2 here, 2. Okay. So this is what we are going to get as the value of what? As the value of this is what we are going to get as the value of H. Okay? This is what we are going to get as the value of H. Then we come to K. So K, we need to get this part and equate it to what? So we're going to say K is equals to 9QH. Okay? So just at this point we can simplify and say this one. So this will cancel. K will be equal to 9H. Okay? K will be equals to 9H. Are we together? Then K is equals to 9 multiplied by 1 over 2. Okay? 9 multiplied by 1 over 2, because 1 over 2 is the value of H, so we have replaced it here. Okay? So K will be equals to 9 divided by 2, which is the same as 4 whole number 1 over 2. I hope these things are clear and you are able to see what we are doing. So basically, this is what you are supposed to do. Okay? So from this point, I need to take you to the next question. I need to take you to the next question, which is question 3. Okay? So let us go to question 3 together. Okay? Okay, so we come to question 3a. Okay? Question 3a is a quadratic equation. Okay? So let's see how we are going to solve this equation. Let's see how we are going to solve this equation. So we do it right on the paper. Okay? So we have the equation x squared minus x minus 19 is equals to 0. Okay? So the formula that we are supposed to use when solving this equation is actually given right here. Okay? It's actually given here. It's the first formula, so that's the formula that we are supposed to use. Okay? So let's go ahead and work out this question. So we are using the formula minus b plus and minus the square of b minus 4ac over 2a. This is x is equals to this one. Okay? So now what we are supposed to do here is we need to make sure that we we identify from the equation which one is our A, which one is our B, which one is our C. Okay? So our C there is negative 19. Our B there is negative 1. And our A is the coefficient of the variable, that is squared. So it is 1. Our B is the coefficient of this variable, then C is the constant. Then we begin now to replace this in the formula. So what is our B? Our B is negative 1. So when you bring that this negative plus the negative that is here, we'll have a positive. So we're going to have 1 plus or minus. What is our B? Our B is negative 1 squared minus 4 multiplied by 1 multiplied by negative 19. Everything divided by 2 multiplied by A, which is 1. This is our x. So our x is equals to 1 plus, okay, or minus the square root of, so you work out everything that is in the bracket here and you tell me what we are going to get. Okay. Okay, so when you multiply this one, then do the minus and you also multiply this side, you find that this minus and this one, they'll give you a plus. So you actually be adding here. Okay, you actually be adding and you are going to get 77. Then from this point, you know that because of the plus and the minus, we're going to get two values of x. So to get the first value of x, this is what you are supposed to do. Okay, here is our calculator. This is what we are supposed to do. So we say 1 plus the square root of 77. Have you seen that answer? Okay. Then you divide this by 2. Divided by 2, which is the denominator there. What are you getting? That is what is going to be one of the values of x. So you say 4 point, you round it off to 2 decimal places. 1, 2. So 7 must go. Because 7 is a number that is greater than 5, you add a 1 to 8 there. So it will be 0.89. This is what is going to be one value of x. Then to get the other value of x, you come back here. You say 1 minus the square root of 77. Okay? So we say 1 minus the square root of 77 equals, that is what you're getting. Then because we have a divisor which is 2, you say divided by 2. What are you getting? You see, that is what you're supposed to get. So the second one, we're going to say, x is equals to negative 3.89. We do the same thing. So these are what will be the values of x. Okay? This is what we're going to get as the values of x. So we go to the other part. Okay, so this is question 3b. Okay? It's a flow chart and we are supposed to write a pseudocode. Okay? So how do we write the pseudocode? That is what we are supposed to do now. Okay? So let's get this question and write our pseudocode. Okay? So it's a statement that corresponds to this diagram where we are going to have those statements. So this is our pseudocode. So we have 3b. How do we write it? You start this word here. Okay? Start. What is the next one? Enter L. Enter L, isn't it? So we are going to say enter. We are going to say enter. What do we have there? L or length. Okay. I think that is the length there. That is the length, so we can leave it at that point. Then we go to the next one. Okay. Go to the next one now here. Now, this is asking, is L less than 0? Okay. Now, as here, we are going to say, if L, okay, if L is less than 0, okay, if L is less than 0, that is what we're going to write as. If L is less than 0, then, okay, then if this is the case here, isn't it? We're going to say then we are coming this side. Then display what? Error here as it is. Display error, then we say L, which is this L, must be positive. Must be positive. Okay? L must be positive. Okay? L must be positive. Okay? That is what we are supposed to have. Then, if this is the case, if this is not the case, we say else. Okay? We say else. Okay? We say else. Then we need to proceed here. Else, what are we doing? We enter else. Enter what? H, which is what? Height. You can say, we are writing these things as they are, but we can say enter height. Okay? Even this one here can be length. Okay? So enter height. So then from this point, again we can say, if, because we are looking at this, okay, is height less than 0? So we need to proceed. So we are saying, if, okay, height is less than 0, okay, if height is less than 0, are we together? Then, okay, we say then display error, display this error, which is H. Then you say display error and H must be positive. H must be positive. Okay? H must be positive. Okay? H must be positive. So display the error message here. Alright. So then there we continue now. Alright? We continue. If, then display this. Else. Okay? Else, meaning if this is the case. Okay? If this is the case now. If this is the case, we are going now to say area. What does the question want us to do? Of volume. Now we are going to say volume. Okay? We are going to say volume. Okay? We are going to say volume is equal to, see what is written here, 1/3, okay, multiplied by L squared. We need to multiply this one. We can actually say L times L. Okay, we can say L times L, then times height. Okay, that's what we are supposed to have here. All right, that is what we are supposed to have there. Then we can say now, and if, okay, then we say display what? Display volume. Then the last one will be stop. Okay, so this is what we are basically supposed to have for this part. This is what we are supposed to have basically for this part, and this takes us to question 4. And question 4 is talking about construction. So we come to construction. Okay, this is the question that we want to look at now. It says construct a quadrilateral P QRS, in which PQ is equals to 8 centimeters, angle QRS is equal to angle QPS is equals to angle QPQR. So meaning these two angles are 120 degrees. Then PS is equals to 6 centimeters and the QR is equals to, okay. So let's begin now. Let us begin. Let's begin. So we have the instrument here. Okay. So I'm sure you are referring to the question. So we are told that this angle here, the first one is this is supposed to be 8 centimeters. 8 centimeters. So here, say from this point, if you start from 9, if you start from 1, you need to go up to 9 because you need to start from 0. Okay, so this is my 8 centimeters. This is my 8 centimeters. Okay, then I'm told that this is my PQ, which is 8 centimeters. Then I'm told that the angle which is QPS and the angle which is PQR, both of them are 120. So meaning here we need an angle which is 120. Okay, so I'll come here. Where's our 120? Our 120 is here. That is where our 120 is. I hope you've seen that. Then I'll also come here and measure 120. I'll also come here and measure 120. My 120 is here. Okay? I hope you've seen what we've done. Then now, the question says PS is equals to 6 centimeters. So meaning from here up to S, it's 6 centimeters. Then QR is 5 centimeters. So this is very simple for me. What you can do, you can even use a ruler like this. You can even use a ruler like this. Or alternatively, you can get your compass, then get your 6 centimeters. This is my 6 centimeters here. Then I draw an arc from this point. That is for 6 centimeters. So meaning I need to draw now from this point. From this point. Okay, so this is where my S should be. This is where my S should be. Then we go to, from Q to R, it's 5 centimeters. So again, we come to the ruler and get the 5 centimeters. Okay? The 5 centimeters. So this is where we're going to have our 5 centimeters here. 5 centimeters. Get our 5 centimeters here. So from here again, sorry. 5 centimeters here. Okay, sorry, so we are dealing with this one from this point. Okay, so this is what we are supposed to do. Then the question is telling us now to say, measure and write down the length of RS. So our R must be here. So we measure and write down the length of what? RS. Okay. Okay, so what are we going to get here? This will give us about 13.6. Okay, this is going to give us about 13.6. That's what we're going to get somewhere there. So this is going to give us 13.6. Okay, then what is the next question? Next question is, within the quadrilateral PQRS, draw the locus of points which are 4.5 centimeters from Q. Okay, so we need to get 4.5 centimeters here. We need to get 4.5 centimeters. Okay, 4.5 centimeters. 4.5 centimeters. 4.5 centimeters from Q. So this is our 4.5 centimeters. Then we bring it here. So we do this. Okay. This is what we are supposed to do. Okay. Having done that, we move on to the next one, which says equidistant from P and Q. So meaning we need to bisect this line. We need to bisect this line PQ. And how do we bisect? You need to do more than half. You need to do more than half. Then you draw an arc here. Also another arc down here. And you change. Come here. Draw an arc here. And another arc here. Okay. Then we join. We join these two within. I think we should just go up to this point. Okay. And then the other one is what? Equidistant from QR and the RS. Equidistant from QR and RS. So what is the common letter here? The common letter is R. So we need to bisect this angle R. Okay. We need to bisect this angle here. So how do we do it? An arc here, another arc here. Then you extend this line, do this on this side, do another one. Okay? Then you join from this point like this. Okay? So take note of the arcs that the locus or points that we have done. There's this one and the other one as well as this one. So now when we come to this one, okay, we have the question that says a point T within the quadrilateral is such that it is less than or equal to 4.5 centimeters from less than. So meaning it is found this side. It is found this side of the first locus that we did here. It's found this side. Nearer to Q than P. When it comes to this one, it means it's on the other side here, closer to Q than it is to P. And nearer to what? RS than nearer to RS than QR. Indicate by shading the region in which T must lie. Okay. Nearer to RS. So when it comes to nearer to RS, we are using this locus. So we are talking about it should be this side here. Okay. For the other one, we are saying it is equal or less than 4 centimeters. Then for this one, we are saying it is nearer to Q than P. So the region that we are talking about here, it is this one. The region that we are looking at here, it is this one. This is the region that we are looking at. This is the region that we are looking at here. Okay? this is the region that we are looking at. That's all. That's the region that we are looking at. Okay? So we move on to the next question. So we have question 5. Okay? We have question 5 here. A. We have to simplify that part. Okay. So simplify 2 minus 18p squared over 3p plus 1. Okay, so the first thing that we are supposed to do here is to factorize what is common here. Okay, so on the first one, when you look at the first one, 2, okay, 2 is common. So when we factorize 2 here, we're going to have 9 and p squared, okay, over 3p plus 1. Then when you check what we have in the brackets, we can further simplify this one. 1 squared minus 3 squared and p squared over 3p plus 1. We go on and say 2, this is going to give us a difference of 2 squares, okay? 3, these ones we can square them like this, okay? So this is going to give us a difference of 2 squares, where we're going to get 3p and 1 minus 3p over 3p plus 1. Now, I'm sure you know that addition, when you say 3 plus 2 and 2 plus 3, you still get the same thing. So this one is the same as this one. So we are going to remain with 2, 1 minus 3p. This is what we are going to get as our answer here. Okay? We move on to the second part. We come now to question B. The first 3 terms of a GP, which is a geometric progression, are m minus 2, comma, m plus 1 and m plus 7. Find the value of m. Okay, so what are we supposed to do here? So to find the value of m, we need to use the formula. Second term divided by first term is equals to third term divided by second term. That's the formula that we need to use. So our second term here is m plus 1 divided by our first term, which is what? M minus 2. This is equals to, what is our third term? M plus 7 over m plus 1, which is our second term. Then at this point we can cross multiply. Cross multiply, it means we have m plus 1, then m plus 1. This is equals to m minus 2 and m plus 7. Okay? Then you can now simplify this. Okay? You can now simplify this. What are we going to get here? This is going to give us m squared, m multiplied by m squared, m multiplied by 1, you have m, 1 multiplied by m, you have m, 1 multiplied by 1, you have 1. The same thing we do it this side, m multiplied by m, you have m squared, plus m multiplied by 7, you have 7m, minus, you multiply this part, 2 minus 2 multiplied by m, you have 2, minus 2 multiplied by 7, you have minus 14. Then now at this point you can put the like terms together if you like. Of course we know that if this one comes the other side, it will be minus, or the other way around. So we can leave out these ones at this point. Then what we get here, this will give us 2m plus 1 is equals to 5m minus 14. Okay? So this is going to further give us what? This is going to further give us, okay, so we say we're going to have 2m minus 5m is equals to negative 14 minus 1. This one must come the other side. Okay? Then, this is going to give us minus 3m is equals to negative 15 here. You divide by negative 3 by negative 3. Our m is equals to 5. That is the value of m. This is what we are getting for m. So we can move on to the second question, the common ratio. Okay? How do we find the common ratio? Common ratio, which is represented by the letter R, is second term divided by the first term, or third term divided by the second term. So we are going to say our second term is m plus 1, and our second term is, our first term is m minus 2. So what is our m? Our m is 5 plus 1 over our m is 5 minus 2. So what are we going to get? So we are going to get 6 over 3, which is going to give us 2. So that is our common ratio. Our common ratio is 2. Then we have now another question that is asking us to find what? The sum of the first 6 terms. The sum of the first 6 terms. So in this case, when ratio is greater than 1, we say the sum of the first 6 terms, we use this formula, minus 1, r minus 1. So when you put 6 here, you say the first term, what is the first term now here? When you go back to our terms, the first term is m minus 2. So our first term is 3. Our first term is 3. So we're going to say 3. Then what is our common ratio? Our common ratio is 2 to the power 6 minus 1 over, what are we getting here? 2 minus 1. So what are we going to get here? 3 multiplied by, what are we supposed to get when you work out what is in the brackets? Okay? When you work out what is in the bracket, yeah, so we are going to get, this is going to give us 64. Then 64 minus 1, you are going to get what? 63 over, what are you getting here? 1. So when you multiply this, what are you getting? 3 multiplied by 3, we are going to get 9. 3 multiplied by 6, we are going to get 18. So you have 189. That is what we are going to get. The sum of the first 6 terms of the GP. Okay? That is what we are going to get. Then I'm taking you now to question 6. Alright. Here is question 6. Okay? Taking you to question 6 here. And now I want us to find what? Volume. Remember, we are done with the other question, which is question 5. B, where we have our m is 5, our common ratio, and this is the sum. Okay? So we come to question 6. We want to find the volume of this frustrum. So what formula do we use? We use the formula, the volume of this frustrum is what? Pi 3 capital R small r capital R multiplied by, this is the radius of the bigger circle and the radius of the smaller circle. So we come here. Okay? It's a question of us just putting these things in the formula. Okay? So our pi is 3.142 multiplied by 12 over 3 multiplied by the radius the radius of a bigger circle, what is it? 10 squared, plus the radius of the smaller circle, 5 squared, then plus 10 multiplied by 5. Okay, so here we can go on and say 3 into 12, it is 4. So 4 multiplied by 3, 2. Then here, what are you getting? This is going to give us 125 plus 50. Okay, so these two are giving us what? These two will give us 75. So you have 3.142 multiplied by 4 multiplied by, what do we get here? This is going to give us 175. Okay, so let's multiply this and see what we're going to. Okay, so what are we going to get? So when you multiply this, you'll discover that we're going to get 2199.4. Okay, so when we round off these three significant figures, it will be 1, 2, 3. So we need to take out all these 9, and then you get, this has to add the 1 to this one, which you subsequently add the 1 to this one. So you end up having, okay, this is what we're going to have. Okay, so we go now to section B. All right, now we are going to section B. So we come to question 7. Okay, we read question 7. Let's read question 7. Okay, the values of x and y are connected by the equation y is equals to x cubed plus 4x squared plus x minus 5 as shown in the table below. Then calculate the value of p. Okay, so this is what we are supposed to do to get the value of p. So to get the value of p, we need to write this is the equation, x cubed plus 4x squared plus x minus 5. Okay, so p, what is the corresponding, what is the value of x that goes with p? It's what? 2. So meaning you need to put 2 here, minus 5. This is going to give you the value of what? It's going to give you the value of, this is going to be what here? This will be 8. And then this is going to give us what here? 16 plus 2 minus 5. So this is going to give us what? 24 plus this one need to give us 26 minus 5. Y is equals to 21. Okay, so that is the value of p. Then after that, now we have the second question, which says using a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit on the x-axis and 2 centimeters to represent 5 units on the y-axis for those domains, draw the graph of y is equals to x cubed plus 4x squared plus x minus. All right, so this is what we are supposed to do now. Doing this question, we have our graph paper here. Okay, have our graph paper here. Have our graph paper here. So we are told that we need to, okay, so we draw the axes here. Okay, then we draw the x-axis. Okay, so this is, and we were told that we're supposed to have what? For the x-axis, 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit. 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit. So meaning we have, okay, so this is how the graph is going to be. On the x-axis here, 1 centimeter is half of the 2 centimeter. So this is going to be 1 centimeter to 1 unit. Okay, what is the question saying? Okay, the question is saying 1 centimeter to represent what? Or 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit. Okay, 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit. Sorry, so let's say this is going to be our 1 and then our 2 here. Okay, then our 1 will be here, our 2 is going to be here, sorry, then our 3 is going to be here, and 4 will be here. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so this is what we are going to have. Then we begin to plot these points now. We begin to plot these points. We plot these points. Okay, so we're going to have, the first one is negative 4, negative 9. Negative 4, negative 9. So I'm sure you know how to count. This is our 5. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is where we have that point. And the second one is negative 3, 1. 3, 1. Where do you have your 1? Our 1 is here. Okay? Then we have negative 2, again, 1. Negative 2, again, is giving us 1. Then, negative 1, negative 3. Negative 1 is here, negative 3. So this is 1, 2, 3 here. Okay? Negative 1, then we have 0, negative 5, which is this point here. Then the second last is 1, 1. 1, 1. 1, 1 is this point here. Then the last one is 2, 21. 2, 21 here. So we need now to join, okay? To join these points with a smooth curve. We need to join these points now with a smooth curve. This one should have been better. Please take note, I'm using a pen because I want it to be okay. So this is how our graph is going to be. Although I take note here, it should have been, the curve should have been like this. Okay. So now, that is what we're supposed to have. Should take note in an exam, you need to use a pencil, okay, so that it looks better than this. All right. Then from there, now we are told that use the graph to find the solutions of the equation. Okay. To find where this is equals to 0, meaning y is equals to what? 0. So what are we going to get here? Where y is equals to 0, what values are we getting? Where y is equals to 0. Where y is equals to 0 here. So the first one is going to be, so we can say, this is what? Question 7. Question 7a. Question 7a, 1, Roman numeral 1, p is equals to 21. Then number 2 is the what? You can say, refer to the graph. Okay, it was talking about the graph. Then number 3, Roman numeral 3 has a and b. So a is where we are now. So we want to get the y coordinates here. I mean the x coordinates where y is equals to 0. along the x-axis. So what are we going to get? The first one is x is equal to what? Negative 3.2, comma. What is the second one? Here, it's negative 1, comma, negative 1.8. Negative 1.8 here. Then the other one is, okay, 0.9. The other one is 0.9. So there are 3. 1, 2, 3. Those are the ones that we're supposed to get. Then we come to B. Okay, so B has an equation here. B has an equation. So we need to plot this equation we need to plot this equation here. That's what we are supposed to do. So the equation is what? The equation is, will be y is equals to 2x plus 4. So we are going to use these same coordinates that are here. So I'm going to say, let me get there, just two coordinates, x and y. When x coordinate is equals to negative 4, I want to get the first coordinate here. Meaning, you put negative 4 here. You're going to have negative 8 plus, what do you get? This is going to be, if this is negative 4, even this one is going to be negative 4. Then, I come to get 2. If x is equals to 2, then this is going to be 2 multiplied by 2, it will be 4, plus this one is going to be 8. So this will be 8. So I'll use these two coordinates. 4, 4 is this coordinate, this point here. Then 2, 8, 2, 8, 2, 8, 2, 8. 2, 8, it's this point here, okay? So we join these 2 points here, okay? We need to join these 2 points. This point, okay, as well as this one. We join them. And this is going to be y is equals to 2x plus 4. Then now we get the x coordinates on these 2 points where they meet. We get the x coordinates here. Okay, what is the x coordinate? So this, we can start with either this side. So we have 3.1234. So we can say this is negative 3.4. Okay, we can say this is close to negative 3.405. So this is going to be negative 3.5 or 4, somewhere there. Okay. Then you also come to this point here. What is this point? Okay, what is this point here? This point is negative 1.9. This point here is like negative 1.9 or 8, comma, the last one here, 1, 2, 3. It's going to be 1.3. So these are the x coordinates here. Okay, these are the x coordinates that we are supposed to get. Okay, those are the x coordinates. So I think this part is done. This part is done. For this one, you get 3 marks. For the first one, you get 2 marks. For the graph, you get 3 marks, okay? Then for this one, you get, so this is 9 marks. Where does the other 3 marks come from so that you can have what? 12 marks. So there is this question here. There is this question here, in algebra. Okay, so let's work with this question. Okay, so we need now to look at I hope 7 is done. 7 is done. These are the answers that we did for 7. These are the answers that we did here for 7. Okay, these are the answers that we did for 7. My camera misbehaved. Then we moved on to this part. Where is the other part for 7? Okay, this one. This was the other part for 7. We solved it here. Now we are on question 8. We are dealing with question 8 here. We're dealing with question 8. And I was explaining that, like my camera went off, I don't know what happened. So I was explaining that when we are finding the difference in longitude, for instance, between Q and R, okay? Q and R, these two are in different hemispheres. So to find the difference, we need to add 21 and 41. So we're going to get what? 62. Then the next thing that we're going to do now, we need to find the distance, PR, as the question is asking. So we need to multiply theta by what? 60 minutes. So this theta is the difference in degrees between P and Q. Now, since they're in different hemispheres, this one is south, the other one is north, you need to add them. That is where this 140 is going to come from. Then you multiply by 60 to get what we have here. Then B is talking about the distance RT, this point here, okay? This point here. So at this point, we are going to say we need to find the difference in longitude. And these two places are in the same hemisphere. So what are you going to get? You subtract this one from 71, you're going to get 50. So that is what I did here. You multiply 50 by 60 by cos 60. Cos 60, because these are on the latitude 60. You get 1,500 nautical miles. Okay. I apologize for that. My camera misbehaved. So we need now to come to B. And B reads, a curve has gradient x squared minus 4x plus 3. Find the equation of this curve if it passes through the point 3, -1. So, what we are supposed to do here, this gradient, the curve has gradient. This gradient, it's like what we have here is dy dx, okay? Dy dx is what we have here, is given as plus 3. So now, to go back to the original equation of the curve, we need to integrate this. We need to integrate, like we are going back to y, okay? Before it was integrated, what was it? So we need now to say, this is going to be x, we are integrating, this is going to be 3, you add the 1 here, over 3, okay, minus 4x, here we have a 1, we add another 1, you have 2, over 2, plus 3, what do we have? This is like we have x to the power 0, so it will be x plus the constant, okay? So what are we going to get? Y is equals to x to the power 3 over 3 minus 2x squared plus 3x plus c. Okay. So now take note here, okay? Take note here that there is a point that was given, that this point was given in the question, okay? So now we need to find y. This is our x here, isn't it? This is our x and y is -1. We want to find the value of c. So we are going to put -1 here and put this part as -2 okay, over 3 minus 2x squared plus 3 x plus c. Okay, so we have negative 1. This is equals to, I'm sure you know that this is going to give us negative 3, negative 3 over 3 here, minus 2x squared plus 3x. Oh, sorry. So this point we also need to replace. Even here we need to replace this part, plus c. So this one into this one, we have negative 1 there. So this is going to be negative 1 multiplied by, when we multiply these two, what do we get? We're going to get positive 9 plus negative 1, we get negative 9. Okay. Then take note, let me rewrite this part which you did not clearly see. So we have 2. Now take note that here we have this is even a positive. Take note, this is a positive here. Okay, it's a positive. I don't know where the negative is coming from. So meaning this is going to be negative here. Okay, this is going to be negative. The negative is 1. This one is a positive. Okay. So what are we supposed to do now? So this will mean here we have a 9. 3 squared is 9. Multiplied by this one, we're going to have minus 8. So we have 1 is equals to, what do we get here? This is going to give us 9, isn't it? This is going to give us 9. Okay. Then at this point, we're going to get minus 18. Okay. Plus, what do we get here? We're going to get 9. Then plus c. Okay, plus c. So we want to see how we are going to work this thing out. So now, you will discover that this part here, this is going to be like 9 plus 9, it will give us 18. Then 18 minus 18, it will be 0. So we're going to have this case. Okay? We're going to have this case. So when we go back to the original equation, we're going to have y is equals to what? 3 over 3 minus, I'm talking about this one where there is a c here, minus 2x squared, okay, plus 3x, then minus 1, because our c is a minus 1. So this is what we're going to have. Okay, this is what we're going to have, and then this is what will be the equation that we wanted. Okay, I'm sorry about the cancellations that I made here. I hope you managed to follow. Okay, I hope you managed to follow. Okay, so now we need to go to the other question here. We need to go to the other question, which is what? 8C. We need to go to the other question, which is the 8C. Okay. 8C reads, so we can read 8C together. So we can read the question here. Find the equation of the normal to the curve. Y is equals to y to the power 3 minus 2x squared minus 4x plus 1 at the point negative 1, 2. So we want the equation of the normal. We want the equation of the normal. So the first thing that we are supposed to do is to find the gradient of, we need to find the gradient of what? We need to find the gradient of this curve. Okay? We need to find the gradient of this curve. So how do we find the gradient? So we have y is equals to, minus Okay. So we need to find the gradient here. Okay, we need to find a gradient here. So what are we supposed to do? We are dealing with dy dx. What is the gradient here? So this is going to be 3x squared. Okay, I hope you are able to follow. How do we differentiate? From where I'm coming from, this is going to be multiplied by the, then you less a 1 there, minus 4x minus 4. I hope you're able to follow that. Then what is the x coordinate? The x coordinate is what? Negative. The x coordinate here at this point is -1. So we say 3, -1 squared, minus 4, -1 minus 4. So this is going to give us what here? This will give us a +1. So we have 3 plus, this will give us a +4 here, minus 4. So our gradient is going to be equals to our dy dx, okay, will be equals to 3. Okay, that is what we're going to get. So now, if that is what we're going to get, then how do we proceed? Okay, so you know that to find the gradient now, we need to use this formula. Okay, so now what is the point that we have is what? -1, 2. And the gradient that we got, this one, is the gradient of the tangent. Now we want the gradient of the normal. So when we multiply the gradient of the tangent and the gradient of the normal, they should give us -1. So if m1 is 3, then the other gradient which we want must be a -1/3. So that is the gradient that we're going to use here. Okay, that's the gradient that we're going to use. Then the points will be these ones. So we have y minus 2, okay, is equals to -1/3, then x minus, we have a minus and a minus here, so this will be like +1. So we can cross multiply here. What are we going to have? You can have this 3, you bring it here. 3 multiplied by y to be 3y minus 6 is equals to, we have -1, then minus x minus 1. Okay? Then this is going to be 3 is equals to -x minus 1 plus 6. So you have 3y is equals to -x plus 5. So you can leave your equation at this point, or you can say 3y plus x is equals to 5. Or if you want, you can maybe at this point just divide throughout by saying y is equals to minus x/3, okay, plus 5/3. N of these 3 equations will be marked. Okay, so now I'm taking you to question 9. I'm taking you to question 9. So question 9, we are looking at statistics. The table below shows the distribution of length of plots in a certain locality. Okay, as we can see, this is the information that we're given here. Then the first part says calculate the standard deviation. Now, as you may know, data can be given in 2 folds. We have ungrouped data and grouped data. And even for grouped data, we can have grouped data where for instance, the length of plots here where we just have one value, but here we are given an interval from 1 up to 5. So in this case, what we are supposed to do, our x is going to be the midpoint of this part. Our x is going to be the midpoint of this part. So this is how we need to come up with our table. Okay, we just need to come up with a table here that is going to make our work easier. Okay, we need to come up with a table here that is going to easy our work. Okay, we need to come up with a table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we need to come up with a table. So here we need to find a midpoint in this case. and it is this midpoint what we are going to call our x. Then we should have the frequency, which we're going to call our f here. Okay, we can have the frequency that we're going to call our f. Okay, we can write frequency here. Then here we have f multiplied by x. Okay, then this side we're going to have x squared. Then here we're going to have f multiplied by x squared. So these are the columns that you need. So I told you that in this case, this x here is the midpoint of these two numbers here. So you need to add this number and this one. Then you divide it by 2. So like for the first one, you're going to multiply, you're going to add 1 plus 5, what do you get? 6 divided by 2. We're going to have 3. So here, you're going to write our 3. Okay? Then, close it like this one. Then I bring you to the second one. The second one, what do we have? We have 6 to 10. So you add these two. What do you get? You get 16. 16 divided by 2. We're going to get 8. Then we have frequency here. Frequency is this part. The frequency for the first one is what? Is 0. What is the frequency for the second one? It is 2. Okay? So then, we come to the other one, which is you have 11 and 15. When you add these, you're going to get 26. 26 divided by 2, you have 13. Then what is the frequency? What is the frequency? The frequency is 11. So let's work with this table first on these 3. Let's work with this table on these 3. Okay. So here, this is fx. F multiplied by x. Our f is here, which is 0, multiplied by x, which is what? Our x, which is what? 3. When you multiply these two, they will give you what? 0. Then here we have f multiplied by x. Our f is 2 and x is 8. So you get 16. Here our f is 11 and our x is what? 13. When you multiply these two, what do you get? 143. Okay? So let's go on here. We have x squared. Where is our x? Our x is 3. So you square this one. What are you going to get? 9. Here, x squared, our x is 8. When you square this one, what do you get? You get 64. Our x is what? 13. When you square this one, what do you get? You get 169. Then here we have f. What is our f? It's this part. Multiplied by x squared. Where is our x squared? This part. Okay. So this is 0 multiplied by 9, you get 0. Then this part here is f, which is 2. 2 multiplied by 64, you get 128. Then here we have 11. We have 11 by 169. Okay? What are we going to get? We're going to get 1,859. So we need to carry out with this process, even on the remaining 4 intervals. You carry out with it, then you add everything that you're going to get here. Okay? You add everything that you're going to get here, as well as add everything that you're going to get here. Even this part, you add everything that you're going to get here. Okay? So that is what we are going to do. So, when we finish that process, this is what we are supposed to have. Okay? You can verify these figures. Don't just follow these things. You can verify these figures. This is what we're going to get. When you get this, you add this part. You add this part, okay? As well as this one, you total it up. Even this part, okay? Then take note that the formula is given that you are supposed to use to find the standard deviation. It is given as the square root for the summation of fx squared over summation of f minus x bar squared. And x bar is given by this formula, okay? X bar is the mean. X bar is the same as the mean. So summation of fx, when we total these, what do you get? 2020 divided by the summation of the frequency, which is 100 or 100. What do you get? This is what you are going to get. After you have done this, the next thing that you're supposed to do now, look, summation of fx squared, it is this number here. So you bring this number here, 43270 divided by 100 minus 20, this one, 20.2 squared. So you divide this one first here. You can divide this one. Okay. You can divide this one here first. You have 43270 divided by 100. What are you getting? Here you are going to get what? 432.7 minus squared. Okay. So at this point now, I can just come on my calculator. Then you open brackets. When I open brackets, you do this. This must be in the brackets like this. Then what do I have? 432.7 minus 20.2 squared, close brackets. What am I getting? I'm going to get that standard deviation is equals to 4.96588 goes on. Then you can round off these to 3 significant figures, which is going to be 4.96. Okay. So this is what you are basically supposed to do here. Okay, we have used the shortcuts in the interest of time. So we can go on to the other part of this question. Okay. Okay, so we are looking at the other part here. Okay. So we are looking at the other part. Okay. So this is what we are supposed to look at now. Okay. This is what we are supposed to look at now. So answer this part of the question on a sheet of graph paper using the table above, which is this one. Copy and complete the cumulative frequency here, which is this one. Okay, so we started with this. There's a 0 and 2. Okay, so this 2 is added on to 11. That's where this 13 is coming from, cumulatively. Okay? So that is what you're supposed to know now. Then when we are at 44, these two numbers here need to come and be added to 44. So what are we going to get? All right? You are going to discover that we're going to get 50. Here, we'll get 57. Okay? That's what we're going to get. Then, this 57 must be added to what? 31. You're going to get 88. Okay? Then, this part. Okay? This part here. What are we supposed to do? This 8 has to be added to 88. And you're going to get 96. And if you added this 4 here, it will give you a total which is 100. Then from 100 rather. So now we go to this question. So this table, so we come to the graph paper where we're going to say now question 9. Question 9, A is not supposed to be done on the graph paper. So question 9B, it has A. So the numbers that we used here are what? There should be 57, then 88, as well as 96. 6. These are the numbers that you must indicate here. Okay, these are the numbers that you must indicate. So we look at the other part now. Okay, so using a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 5 units on the horizontal axis and 2 centimeters to represent 10 units on the vertical, draw a smooth. Okay, so let's do this part. Okay, so this is how we are supposed to do our graph paper. Or the horizontal 2 centimeters, 5 units. Okay, so that is 5, 10, 15, and so on. Then the vertical we're supposed to have 2 centimeters, 10 units, 10, 20, 30, up to 100. Okay, we are looking at the limits are here. For the x-axis, it's this one. It's supposed to go up to 35. For the y-axis, it's supposed to go up to 100. Remember that the first one is the x-axis. The second one is the y-axis. Okay. So now we begin to plot. The first one is 5,0. 5,0, it's this same point here. The second one is 10,2, 10,2 is this point. Then we go to 15,13, 15,12, 13 is here. Then we have 20,57, 20,57, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. Then 25,88, 25 is here, 25 is here, 88, this point. Then 30,96, 30,96, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then 35,100, so 35,100. Then we need to join now these points with the smooth. Okay. Smooth. This is how we are supposed to do it. Okay? This is how we are supposed to do it. Then that is the curve that we have drawn, cumulative frequency curve. Then let's come to this part now, showing your method clearly. Use your graph to estimate the interquartile range. The interquartile range. So interquartile range. So this is interquartile range is equals to, so here we say 3, okay. Interquartile range is equals to upper quartile minus the lower quartile. Okay, so how do we find the upper quartile? So the upper quartile here is equals to 3 over 4 multiplied by the total frequency here, which is 100. What do we get? This is 25. This is, yes, 25 multiplied by 3. 25 multiplied by 3, we're going to get 75. Then the lower quartile is 1 over 4 multiplied by 100, which is this one. The total here, the total frequency. Where is it? This one. Okay, that's what you get. This number, you get this number that is here. It's not always 100. If it's 50, that's what you get. Okay, so this is going to be here. You get 25. So these ones, these two are not the final answers. See what I'm going to do. So for the upper quartile, I'm going to come to where we have 75 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where we have 75. So I need to draw a straight line from here. A straight line that goes to the curve, and then drop it down, and drop it down here, okay, and drop it down here, drop it down here. Okay. So then we have the other one, which is 25. So this is the upper quartile. And the upper quartile, the answer is going to come from this point. So we say 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to get 24. Okay. Now remember also, I must indicate that this is what? The length of what? Plots. In what? In meters. So this is the 24 meters. So here we're talking about length of plots in meters, this axis. Okay? Take note of that. Then we come to the lower quartile, which is 25. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at this point, we do this one. And when we get to this point, come down. So this is 15, it's 15, 16, 17, 18. Is it so? No. No. Okay, so I think this is 16. So 0.5, yes. So lower quartile range, this is 16.5 meters. Let me look at this one also. This is supposed to be like 21, then 22. Okay, because of, okay, so this is supposed to be 22. Beg your pardon. Okay, so now we are going to have our answer now here and say the upper quartile range is, the upper quartile is 22 minus 16.5. What do we get? Okay, so we can do that and say 22 minus 16.5. So we're getting 5.5. So 5.5 will be our answer here. Okay? 5.5 will be our answer, and I'm taking you to question 10 now. Alright, so question 10 is here. It has got 3 parts. Question 10A reads, 3 villages A, B, and C are joined by straight roads as shown in the diagram below. Okay? So as you can see there, we're given the measurements for A, B, B, C, and D. So now we need to find the angle BAC to the nearest whole number. BAC to the nearest whole number. So BAC, meaning this angle here. So we are using cosine rule here. But we are using cosine rule when we are given the 3 sides. So here we are going to say cos A is equals to B plus C minus A squared over 2BC. That is the formula that we are using. Okay. So you should take note that these small letters represent the opposite length to these angles here. Okay. This is small letter C, small letter A, small letter B. So that's what we are supposed to do here. So the small letter B is equals to what? 9.4 squared plus, what are we getting? This is going to give us C. What is our C? 10.2 squared minus 15.6 squared over 2 multiplied by 9.4 multiplied by 10.2. Okay, cos A. So when you work out this part, you are going to get, when you punch all these things on your calculator, they will give you negative 50.96 over 191.76. Okay, cos A. Are we together? Now, take note that what you want is the angle at A. So the inverse, of course, must come this side. So you say cos inverse. Okay? Cos inverse, then you say 50 point divided by 19 over, okay, then this, it will give you the angle at A as 15.41111. But the question said to the nearest whole number. So BAC will be 105 degrees because the question said to the nearest whole number. So punch this, just try to punch this one here. Try to punch this one here. You shift cos, then everything else you open brackets and enter all those things. You'll be able to get everything here. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. Then we come to the question that talks about the area of the triangle. The area of the triangle. So area of the triangle is given by the formula. Area of the triangle is given by the formula ABO. Then that is what you're given. Okay, so depending on what you're given. So in this case, we want the area and then the two sides that we know are, because the angle is given at A. So here we're going to have BC, then sin A. So 1 over 2 multiplied by, what is our B? 9.4 multiplied by C. What is our C? Our C is 10.2 multiplied by sine. What is the angle that we got? 105. So we can patch these things and say 0.5, which is the same as 0.4 multiplied by 10.2 multiplied by sine 105 equals, okay, so we're going to get 46.3 centimeters square in terms of nearest to 3 decimal, I mean 2 decimal places, or no, correct, to 3 significant figures. That is what we're going to have. Then we want to find the shortest distance. The shortest distance from A to BC. So the shortest distance is given by this formula. H is equals to 2 multiplied by area over B. So 2 multiplied by our area, which is 46.3 over the base. Our B in this case is this part that was mentioned here, BC, which is what? 15.6. That's what we are supposed to do. So we are going to say 2 multiplied by 46.3 divided by 15.6. So this gives us what? H is equals to 5.94 centimeters. Okay. Then we have this question. We have these two questions here, which is B and C. Those are the questions that we're going to deal with now. Okay. Those are the questions that we're going to deal with. So the first one is B is 2 cos theta is equals to 1. So cos theta is equals to 2 over 1 over 2. You divide both sides by 2. So theta is equals to cos inverse of 0.5, because this is the same as 0.5. So we can say shift 0.5. We are going to get what? 60 degrees. And that is the angle that we're going to be given, because we're just looking at from 0 up to 180. And in the second, so we're just looking at the first and the second quadrant. So cos is positive in the first quadrant. So that is what is going to be our answer. Then for this one, for this question, we have 3x squared y over 8x y cubed. So we can change this into multiplication here. Say 9 is 3 over 4y to the power 4. So we can simplify this part here and say this part, just this part alone here. You can say 3x, this y will go, this x here will remain with the x. Okay, then here we have 8, here will remain with y squared. Okay, so then I beg your pardon, this is supposed to be, since we multiplied here, sorry, let's see, retake this question. It's supposed to be 3x squared minus y, 8xy cubed. Now, because of the division sign here, once we convert this, then this side is supposed to be the power 4 over 9. Okay, so now at this point we can begin to simplify. This one we have 2. Okay, this one will go, here we have y. Okay, and this one it's 3. This, you remain with this one here, isn't it? Okay, when this one goes, here you remain with 1. Okay, then here we remain with just so here you have this x also. Okay, so take note that here on top we have what? This y and that y. So we have y squared. Below here we have 2 multiplied by 3, we have 6, and then x squared. So our answer here is this one. All right, so we go to question 11. So question 11 is transformation. Study the diagram below to answer the questions that follow. So we have the diagram here. Okay, then the first question is that triangle ABC here is mapped onto triangle A1, B1, and C1 by enlargement. Find its center and the scale factor. So how do we find the center? So the center, we always pick the 2 corresponding. So like in this case, we can draw this one. Okay, we also pick another one for C and C. We draw straight line. Okay, we also do, so then we also join another point here. Okay, then we try to identify the part where these 2 points are meeting. So they're actually coming to meet somewhere here. Okay, and the point at which they are meeting, when you look at here, we have 6 and 4 and 6. So the middle point here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have the center here, the center where they are meeting. The center where they are meeting is what? 5,6. Okay, that is the center. Then for the scale factor, we need to get like the length of this point here. From this point up to this point, how many, okay, centimeters have we moved? This is 4 centimeters from this point up to this one. It's 4 centimeters here. Then you get the corresponding measurement or side on the smaller one. So you are going to, this is 2 centimeters. So you divide 4 by 2. So the scale factor is 2. Okay. The scale factor is 2. Then, so definitely it is going to be positive because it is outside the 2. It puts the image and the object on one side. It is only a negative when it is in the middle of the object and the image. Okay, so we go to the other question here. Says triangle ABC is mapped onto triangle A2B2C2 by a single transformation. Find the matrix representing this transformation. Okay, so here what we are supposed to do is to get the coordinates of these two matrices. Okay, to get the coordinates of these two triangles. Okay, so we come to this question that is talking about the matrix. So the first thing that we are supposed to do is let's pick the coordinates of this triangle, the object and the image. So for instance, A, what are the coordinates for A here? Okay, the coordinates for A, we have 1, 4. We have 1, 4. All right. Then what about for A2, which is the image here? Okay, what do we have? So here we have 1, -8. Okay, then we come to B. What are the coordinates for B? It is 3, 4. 3, 4. What about B2? B2, it is 3, -8. Okay, what about the last one, which is C? So C, we can put it here. C, the coordinates are 3, 2. Then C2, we have 3, -4. Okay, so now I want you to identify these. Check the x coordinate is the same here. Even here the x coordinate is the same. Okay, x coordinate is the same. So meaning this transformation, it was put, okay, perpendicular to the x-axis. It was put perpendicular to the x-axis, and you realize that this is a stretch. Okay, this is a what? A stretch when y is equals to 0. And the matrix that we use in this case, it is what? 1, 0. Okay, the matrix that we use here is 1, 0, then 0, k, where this one is the scale factor in this case. So what we are supposed to do here now is, so to find this k here, we are going to divide this, okay, this coordinate here on the image, which is -8, by the one that is on the object. So this is going to give us -2. So when we get -2, this is going to be 0, 0, -2. And this is the matrix that we are going to So this is what we are supposed to find, and this, I think, a shorter method. There could be another method that we can use, but it's a longer one. Then we have another question here that is asking us to find the area scale factor of the transformation. The area scale factor. Area scale factor is the same as the same scale factor here, except that it will be positive instead of, so it will be area scale factor. It will be a positive 2 instead of a negative. That is what will be our answer there. So we need to come to C. C is a triangle ABC is mapped onto A3, B3, C3 by a single transformation. Describe fully this transformation. Okay. What is this transformation here? All right. So this one onto this one. All right. Now the size has not changed, so we need to look at that. Let's see which one it is. Okay. Okay, so we continue. We need to do this one. So this is the rotation from what it appears like. So let's try to see if we can find a center of rotation just to confirm. So how do we find the center of rotation? So to find the center of rotation, we need to pick 2 points. For instance, we have this A here. The corresponding side is this one. So we need to come up with, we need to bisect this line that joins A on the image and on the object. So we are going to say, okay, we also do another one here. Then we do, okay. So if you have seen, it's passing through that point and this one. So we need to join these, this, okay. Then we pick another pair. Let's try for B, B and B, okay. B and B, my diagram is congested now. B and B, okay. Change, we come this side, this point, this one. Okay, so we, as you can see, the points where they intersected, you have this one here as well as this one. So we need again to join. Okay, you join this one here. So where are they meeting? These bisectors, they are meeting at this point. And this point here, what do we have? This is the center of rotation is 3,0. The center of rotation is what? 3,0. So to know the angle, we join this point from the, we join one point from the object to its corresponding side on the image. So for instance, this is going to give us 90 degrees. So for the angle, it's 90 degrees. Okay. For the angle, it is 90 degrees. And if you've seen the center, so our center here, the center, this is rotation. You can say rotation, 90 degrees angle, and the center is 3,0. Okay, and this is in a what? Clockwise direction. This is in a clockwise direction from this point to this one. It's clockwise direction. Okay, clockwise direction. All right, so let's look at the other one. Okay, so we have D. So the matrix 1, 3, 0, 1 maps triangle ABC onto A4, B4, C4. Not on the diagram. Find the coordinate. Okay, this is very simple. Okay, this is very simple. So what we are supposed to do is we multiply this matrix. Okay, this matrix here, we say 3, 0, and 1. So we should get the coordinates of what? This triangle ABC. And I think I got those coordinates somewhere. Yeah, they are here. We got those coordinates. So what are they? A, we have 1, 4. For B, we have 3, 4. And for C, what do we have? 3, 2, if I'm not mistaken. So when we multiply these, the coordinates that we are going to get, those will be the coordinates of the... So this is A, this is B, and this is C. So we can start here. So this is 1 multiplied by 1. What do we get? 4. Plus 3 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1, we're getting 1. 3 multiplied by 4, we are getting 12. We move on to the next one. 1 multiplied by 3, we are getting 3. Plus 3 multiplied by 4, we are getting 12. Then the next one is 1 multiplied by 3, we're getting 3. Plus 3 multiplied by, we're getting 6. Then we come down, 0 multiplied by 1, it's 0 plus 1 multiplied by 4. Then here we have 0 multiplied by 3, 0, 1 multiplied by 4. Then here we have 0 multiplied by, this is 0 plus 2. So we're going to get 13, 4, 15, 4, 9, and 2. Okay. So take note that now this is our A4, this is our B4, and this is our C4. So these are the coordinates. So you can write them in this form. A4, you have 13, 4, then B4, you have 15, 4, and C4, you have 9, 2. This is what you're going to get. Okay. We move on to the last one now. So we come to the last question now. Okay. Answer the whole of this question on a sheet of graph paper. First one, let's read. A carpenter intends to manufacture at least 10 tables and at least 20 chairs. Each table requires 4 hours of assembly and 2 hours of vanishing. Okay? Each chair requires 3 hours of assembly and 1 hour of vanishing. There are 240 hours available for vanishing, for assembly, and 100 hours for vanishing. Given that, okay, given that X represents the number of tables and Y represents the number of chairs, write 4 inequalities, okay, write 4 inequalities which represents these conditions. So I think the first 2 are easy to come up with. So we can say X at least 10 tables, isn't it? So this will be equal or greater than 10. Then also at least what? 20 chairs. So these are the first ones. Then now we come to the issues of assembling and vanishing. So I'm going to say assembling, okay, and then vanishing. Okay, so now we are going to say tables and then chairs. So for the tables, each table requires 4 hours of assembling. So for the table, it's 4 hours of assembling and 2 hours of vanishing. Okay, then each chair requires 3 hours of vanishing and 1 hour of 3 hours of assembling and 1 hour of vanishing. Okay, then there are 240 hours for assembling and 1. Okay, so how do we write this? Remember, this is x, so we're going to say 4x plus 3y. What is available is this, so it could be this or less, so equal to 40. Okay, this is the third inequality. Then this side to be 2x plus 1y, which is the same as y, equal less than or equal to 100. So the inequalities that we have are supposed to be these ones. Okay, so we come to the graph paper and write them. This is question 12. So question 12, A, we need to write the inequalities. And those inequalities are x greater than 10, y greater than or equal to, then we have 4x plus 3y less than or equal to 240. Then we also have 2x plus y 100. So we put this now on the graph paper. It's very simple. So let's read the instruction. Let's read the instruction here. So the instruction says, using a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 10 pieces of furniture on each axis. Okay, very good. Okay, so this is what we have, and this is what we are supposed to do. All right, this is what we are supposed to do. So now we show these, or we draw these inequalities on this graph. So we can start with the first one, x greater than or equal to 10. So we come here. This is what we are going to deal with. Okay, where is our x is 10 here? So we draw a straight line. Okay, straight line. Take note, and we are shading the unwanted region. So we want the region that is greater than, so we shade this part. The second one is y is equals to 20 here. And we also want the greater part, so we shade this region that is below. We shade this region that is below here. Okay, shade this region that is below. Okay, so in terms of equations, this is an equation like y is equals to 20, and this one is x is equals to 10. Then we have these two here. Okay, so these two, we need to come up with like a table of coordinates. Okay, for 4x plus 3y is equals to so here we can say x and the y. So I'm going to say when x is equals to 0, meaning this part is equals to 0 here, isn't it? This part here is 0. So we're going to have 3y is equals to what? So you need to divide. 3 into 24, what do you get? This will give us 80, isn't it? So we get 80 here. Then, what about if y is equals to 0? Meaning this part is no longer there. So 4 into, we're going to get 60. So that's what we're going to plot here. So we have 0, 80 and 60, 0. So 0, 80 is this point here. 60, 0 is this point. Then we join. Okay. So we want the region that is below, according to this. Less is below. So you shade this part that you do not want. You shade this part that you do not want, like this. Okay. So we do the other one also in the same manner, which is 2x plus y is equals to 100 in terms of an equation. So then we come up with the same table that I drew, x, y. So if x is equals to 0 here, then y will be equals to 100 or 100. Okay? What if y is equals to 0 here, when you put y, then this will be 50. So we have 0, 100 and 50, 0. This one here, this point, and 50, 0 is this point here. So we join them also. Okay. Up to this point. So remember that this one, in terms of an equation, it's what? 2x plus y is equals to 100. Then this other one that we started with here, okay, it is like 4x plus 3y is equals to 240. Okay, this one here. So again, even this one, we are supposed to shade this same part that we do not want here. Okay? So that is what we are supposed to do. Then we go on to the other question. This is what we are supposed to shade. So this is the question now that we are looking at. So each table yields a profit of what? 300 kwacha. While each chair sold yields a profit of what? Find the best combination of the number of tables and chairs to gain the maximum profit. So the objective here we have what? C. So we need to have a profit objective here. So we're going to say profit is equals to what? For the tables, it's what? 300x plus 250y. So now we need to come to this region, okay? We need to come to this region. Okay, so what we need to do now, we get the x coordinate and the y coordinate of the corners. Okay, these are the extreme points. You get the x coordinates here as well as this one. So you can start with this one. What is this one? It's 10, 20. So you have 10, 20. Then you come to the second one, which is this one here. Again, it is what? 10, 67. 10, 67 here. 10, 67. Then the other point, which is this one here, this is 24, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 26, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 26, 45. 26, 45 here. Okay, this is where I'm writing the coordinate. Then the last one is going to be 40, 20. 40, 20. Then now what we are supposed to do is, if you look at what we have here, now you need to start testing each one of these, okay, in this pool. So like the first one is 300 multiplied by 10 plus 250 multiplied by 20. Here, we're getting, this is the x coordinate and this is the y coordinate. Okay, So when you multiply this is what you're going to get. 19,750 kwacha. Okay? Then the second one, you do the same thing. 300, then 10, plus 250 multiplied by 67. What are we getting? All right? So, okay, take note here. Take note, it's not supposed to be this one, but 8,000. Please take note of that. All right, so we move on and do the same thing also here. We have 300 multiplied by 26 plus 250 multiplied by 45. Okay. 260 multiplied by 45. So this one gives us 19 and 50. All right. This is what we're going to get there. So let's do the last one. Okay. 40, then 250 multiplied by 2. What are we getting? It's going to give us 17,000 kwacha. So look at the highest. The highest amount is this one, isn't it? And what combination gave us this one? The combination that gave us this one is 10 tables and 67 chairs. So this question where they're saying find the best combination of the numbers of tables and to gain the maximum. So meaning for the tables, you need 10. And then for the chairs, you need 67. Okay? You need 67. Then there's another question here that says, calculate this estimate of maximum profit. Okay? So this same amount here, this same amount is what we are going to have. Okay? This same amount is what we're going to have as the final part, which is D. So it will be 19,750 kwacha. Okay? It was a long paper. I hope you've picked something. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and share and comment below. Alright, it has been my pleasure taking you through this paper, although it was a marathon. Thank you very much.